Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with a long overdue layout share. My excuse is that I was prepping for going out of town, so I was trying to get all my series done ahead so that I'd have my road trip to post series to post every day and on and on, yada, yada, yada. So the fact is I'm home now and I need to get this stack of layouts in albums, and I don't do that until I've done a layout share. Some of these have videos, most of them I would say. All of the road trip ones do have videos. Some of the ones I did just for the Mind the Scrap Challenge, usually the ones I do at the last minute, trying to get photos printed, photos that I've already printed, get them scrapped using that week's rules to get maximum points for the team. Those will not have videos, and I will try to tell you as we go along. This first one is a double pager, and it is a road trip one, so it does have a video, and it's called Here We Are Denver, and it talks about, this is from the 9th, it's day 9 of the road trip. It's a day that we went to the baseball game on the 8th, which was our anniversary, and on the 9th we just strolled around and saw the sights of downtown Denver, and then went out for a really nice anniversary dinner the day after our anniversary at a place called Bittersweet. And if it's still there, and if you're in the area and get a chance to go, I would highly recommend it. Probably one of the best meals we had on our entire road trip. This page is called Let's Roll. It's also a road trip page, and it would probably be, oh my goodness, I don't have a label on it. It'll be the 10th. And I'm gonna put it aside because I have work to do. This is one I did for Mixed Media Mayhem, and I used alcohol inks. There is a video on this. I found some papers that kind of reflected the colors that I thought I was going to be using in the alcohol inks. I stamped on top of it, stenciled, did Nuvo drops. I used another stencil here. This was a fun one to do, and I love how it turned out. And so there, like I said, there is a Mixed Media Mayhem video on that. This is a page called Deep in the West. It's a road trip video page, and it would have to be the 11th. And let's see. This is not a double page, but this would probably be day 12 when we got into California. And so there will be videos on those. This may be one that there isn't a video for. There is not a video. This is using Steven Duncan's Beach Party collection along with Vicky Bouton's Where To Next. That these are from Where To Next, and this is just like a doodlebug sticker. I just love this photo of Katie with her boogie board up on top of her head. She's like a very serious surfer there. And then along the same surfer lines, this I used the right-hand side of a 2-page sketch, a premium sketch in scrapasketch.com. And I know that that's Doodlebug and that's old. This is Beach Party by Steven Duncan. So is that. That is Sweet Rush from Vicky Bouton. This is Where to Next, and I think that's from Where to Next as well. And same for that. I just love this page. I like a beach page that always has the, you know, the blues and the blue greens and so forth. I really like it when the red pops. So, and of course I put a ladybug there. I didn't put a ladybug on this one. I'm gonna have to go back through this stack before I put them in the album. I'm not gonna do it during the this video because it's such a tall stack. I need to get things done. I think this is also one just done. This does not have a video. This was done just for last minute points. And on that same trip where Katie was carrying the boogie board, Barrett dragged his as he's walking down to the beach. And this filter made that look so colorful. That kind of inspired all the accessories I use there. This is another road trip page, so there will be a video on it. Alcohol ink again with stamping over it. This was like a California page. When we got into California, these images just really kind of struck us. The landscape changed a bit from, you know, desert to, not desert, desert to coastal. This was sightseeing around San Francisco, and this is an awful picture of me staring into the sun with my one eye closed, but I love the picture of the very active farmer's market that's going on a pier that extends out in the water. Now there's a farmer's market for you out on the water. You know, you get the farmer's market, the fun and food of a farmer's market, you know, and the ocean, the Pacific Ocean. Well, what's not to love? This was a Scrap Squad Sunday. That's a Scrap Squad scrap lift. And of course I added packaging and just all kinds of stuff. This is stamping of a brick pattern on some Vicky Bouton paper. A lot of Vicky Bouton print shop here. This one oh my gosh, that doesn't even have a label on it. This was a last minute one. That's kind of when I tend to do those things. This was a one just for points. And it's John and me on our honeymoon in Maui, and I did it in 1982. We got married in 81, but we didn't have any vacation, so we took our honeymoon in 82. And we had a timeshare that we were able to exchange weeks in Austin, Texas for a week in Maui. and it was when I did this page when the news had come out about the horrible devastation of the fire, and I just can't say enough about how horrible that is. This is a just for the summer challenge, and there's no video for this. I tore a couple pieces of pattern paper, and I had all these summer collections out for a different project, which we'll get to later on. And I just kind of threw them on willy-nilly. One of them is called Pool Party. It's by Echo Park. And there's some from Beach Party by Steven Duncan. And I forget, this is Cartabella, but I don't think it looks like Steven Duncan's art, but it may not be. And that's Barrett and Katie playing in our spa in 2006 when we had our 25th wedding anniversary party. And their dad and stepmom brought them down. This is a silly picture of Ava, and I'm almost certain that this one does not have gosh, it doesn't even have a label. Again, last minute one that I hurry before the deadline kind of page. This one was not a road trip one, but this page, this photo, is what gave me the idea to do the road trip series. I did this way ahead of time. It's a design team page for Scrap-A-Sketch, and this is one of their premium sketches. I used this sketch again later, or maybe earlier. I think I may have already shown that one. Nope. But anyway, I used instead of the 4 squares being pattern paper and 1 photo here, I used 4 photos. But this is almost all Vicki Boutin's Where To Next, and an extra sunflower from my good friend Di, and a penguin, of course, for John. I have to have penguins and sunflowers on John pages. But I love this. It's, chocolate doesn't ask silly questions. Chocolate understands. And that was the beginning of our obsession with, not really the beginning, because this was on the way back. But anyway, this was one of the several chocolate pictures that I have of John. So, this was Oakland, and this was a fun page to do. This is also a Scrap-A-Sketch, premium sketch, and this was the week that stitching came into the requirements. So I cut a white circle and stitched it like a baseball for when we went to the baseball game. We were visiting with our friend Michael there, went to the Oakland A's game, and then driving through Hopland, where hops are grown for all the wonderful local brews there. I love this page. I don't know why. It's kind of unusual. These papers that I used were very, it doesn't have a label on the back. That's terrible. But all the road trip ones I will be putting in an album together. You don't need to hear excuses from me, and it doesn't matter to you whether I have a label, but it will to me. Another road trip page. This one was a varied day. Started with the Sea Glass Museum and drove through the chandelier tree and had some Bless My Soul soul food in Eureka, California, and past signs that say entering tsunami hazard zone, which was a little nerve-wracking. And then the Brother Thelonious local brew that we had, absolutely wonderful beer. Then this is a 2-pager. Well, no, that's the second half of a 2-pager. This is the first page. These are some of the random photos that had never been scrapped before. Just wild foxglove and some beautiful purple flowers that I don't know the name of, nor those purple flowers, very different ones. Some berries, just a wonderful day on the road. And I aptly titled Scenes from Our Road Trip. That was day 15. This is the one that was that same sketch that I showed you that had John with the chocolate over here, a photo of him. Instead of pattern paper, I used photos. And this was day 16 on the road trip. And it's entitled Everywhere, I think. But this is I love this. It's a rub-on that says, I'd go anywhere and everywhere with you. And this are from Steven Duncan's either Road Trip or Are We There Yet? I used both in my road trip pages. And that sequin mix is called Road Trippin', and it's by Spiegelmom Scraps, one of my favorite mixes, especially during this road trip series. This was just an extra page that I made. I did some stitching there because that was a requirement. I had some metal there, and I love this series of edits of this photo. I just love this photo, and I've probably scrapped it at least 3 times. And I like the stitches on the back of the page better than just the straight ones there. Here's one where I stitched my little arrow. I'm so proud of that. This was another road trip page. It's day 17, where we were driving along the Oregon coast and on our way to Portland, and this was in Portland. And this was a view from the highway as we were driving to Portland. This is Mount Hood, because the Cascades are just right over there. This was a fun page to do. Again, a reuse of a sketch from Scrap-A-Sketch, and some more Stephen King, listen to me. Sorry, Stephen Duncan's road trip. And I think this came from there too. And this came from Where Are We There Yet? And then there's some 49 and Market that sneaked in there. And this is maybe one of my favorite pages ever, and it's probably the one that's closest to my most comfortable style, which is over embellishment. This was the challenge for Bramble Fox this month. It was this mood board. So it had lemons and the flamingo floaty and sunglasses and rays and waves and just people in a convertible just having a blast, and no doubt listening to music. So I have a radio, and I have sunglasses, and I have flamingos, and I have seahorses, and a guy with an underwater camera, and flip-flops, and swimsuits, and all of this to add the fun and excitement to a day when the pool was absolutely empty, and I had it all to myself, and it was both wonderful and lonely, because I miss all this. I miss all this from when the kids were this age, that they mixed it up like that. So that was a fun page. Excuse me. This one, I did the day 18 of the road trip, and these were the photos. This was Multnomah Falls, and this was the Japanese Gardens at Washington Park, and this was at McMenamin's, and it was with my cousin Becky and her partner Kim, and I have a photo I took of a poster of Ringo Starr and his all-star band who was appearing at McMenamin's. It's a restaurant, but that Ringo Starr appeared there. If you've ever been to any of the McMenamin's, they're destinations. They're not restaurants, they're destinations. So the video got corrupted for this one. So I made this one, which is kind of a companion page. They can go side by side in the album. They're talking about the same place. This was me inside a cave photographing out at Multnomah Falls. And this is the falls that you could see from our breakfast table where we ate there at the site. And I made this for Mixed Media Mayhem because once this video was corrupted, I had to redo the road trip page and make it Mixed Media Mayhem. So this is some glittery shimmer paint. This paint, in fact, the Tangerine Dream by Dilutions. And I brayered it on and then splattered it all over the place. And this was some paper that John picked out for me at Archivers 100 years ago. And I am finally using it. I saved the part, there's this torn part and this torn part, and I saved the middle part, which I will probably scrapbook. I'll probably use it on a page about John's role in my scrapbooking, how much he participated and looked on. This is a Jesse's Girl page because it was published on the day that I took my sister Patrice to see him in concert in Lake Charles, Louisiana. She lives in New Iberia. I picked her up and we went to Lake Charles, and it was wonderful. I haven't scrapped any of that yet, but these were photos I got off of his Instagram feed. And this was a, this one was for Mini Paper Madness, mad about mini paper pads. It's a hop, and all of these blue pieces were from the 6x8 paper pad for Sweet Rush by Vicki Boutin. And this I know is Cocoa Vanilla. This is Sweet Rush. I think this tag is from Color Study, and the stamp is Dina Wakley. But there's a video on that. This one was another road trip page, and there is a video. This was easy peasy because I just printed the photos and the journaling on the page and then added stickers and stitching and all kinds of things afterwards. So I love this page. This was a little charm that the charm had come out, and I pulled it off the chain and stuck a baseball sticker from Steven Duncan's home run collection, and then I put glossy accents. I poured some glossy accents on top and made it a shiny little pendant. I'm proud of that. I like that page. This one was a Scrap Squad Sunday page. I know that because I have my little tag on here. And it's about when Emma put this picture of herself and Claire on Instagram saying, "We're the team at Mind the Scrap." I was reminded of this photo of me in Emma's backyard with Emma and Claire holding Emma's dog, Harry. And this was back in summer of 2022, last summer, when I was staying up in Manchester with Scrappy Adam, and we were on our way down to the cruise ship at Southampton, and I went ahead and stopped in Bristol and visited with Emma, and Emma and John took me out on a wonderful day, and I got to meet some other folks as well, Jenny, Penny, and Sue, and Lil, and just had a wonderful time. So I did a page to name drop that I know these people. You know, I met these people. And this is another road trip page, and it's from day 20. And this came out this past Sunday. This was driving through Eastern Washington, which was unremarkable compared to other days, driving days. But we did see this sign, "To George Washington." And we did stop at Thorpe Fruit and buy lots of fresh fruit and some preserves and things to bring home. And we stopped in Idaho. There's this little skinny bit of Idaho, and Coeur d'Alene was there, and there was a Cracker Barrel, and we were hungry, so we stopped in Idaho. We can say we've been to Idaho and not just passing through, or we actually stopped. This is it's probably my favorite paper from Where To Next by Vicki Boutin, but everything else is from Steven Duncan's Road Trip or Are We There Yet? I love this Get Out the Map, and I've used that a couple times. This is one that I did yesterday, and it's one of the road trip ones, and it's day 21, but so I guess, yeah, that's day 20. This is day 21. It's called Big Sky Country, and it's got these are the two best photos I could get that capture both the skies and the mountains. And growing up in the swamps, I'm fascinated by mountains, so I love taking pictures of them. Rarely do I like the pictures that I've taken, but these are kind of okay. I remember saying when I put this down in the video that I was gonna put something else there, and I didn't do it, and that little raw edge is kind of sitting there. So I'm gonna do it right now. I have this big yellow sequin, and there are all these other sequins around, so this big yellow one will fit in just fine right there. And so this one's another one that was mostly digital. I put these pictures there and gave them the same kind of frame that I gave those others, leaving us an area for some torn papers and embellishments on the side. And then these are printed actually on the paper. And I explained in the video about the Testicle Festival, in case you're wondering. So that was fun. This one was fun too. This was a scrap lift of one of the folks that's in the summer challenge at Mind the Scrap, and that's one of the requirements. Her name is Helen Burl. I want to make sure her first name, Heather Burlton. And I'm trying to scrap lift people I haven't scrap lifted before, or that I haven't maybe known before this particular challenge. So I'm using those sequins again. That's probably my favorite sequin mix I've ever gotten. It's a Doodlebug set that came with the August Mind the Scrap kit. And these photos, this photo was taken yesterday, and I made this page yesterday. This was Barrett leaving with the recruiter and saying goodbye to his dad out front, in front of the house, as they drove off for basic training. He's going into the Army Reserves, and the boy who's leaving, who left yesterday, is gone. There will be a very different young man who will return from these experiences, and I know that because of his dad and my brother. When they went off from home for the first time, when my brother went to work offshore and came back, he was a whole different person. So I did a page, but I'll always remember him being this sweet, adorable kid who loved flowers and plants and was interested in everything. Loved the Beatles and football and basketball and animals. And he was just the gentlest kid. The girls, before they figured it out, were assuming that animals really love to be scrunched or, picked up or dragged along behind them. Not Barrett. Barrett was always, gentle and kind. And I say, get out the map, and I included a map here kind of as a nod to his dad, who got dinged on his map reading skills and then turned out to be totally dependent on and one of the best map interpreters when he was in the service. So that was cool. And this is one I did this morning. I saw this meme, says, "Dear kids, this is what your grandmas looked like in the 70s. And I saw, oh my gosh, bell bottoms, wide belts, hair parted down the middle, hanging down. And I found some photos of myself in 1972, called it Hello 72. and I scrap lifted Jane Chamberlain for this, and used mostly Mind the Scrap August kit. So thank you for watching. I will go put labels on the ones that don't have them, and I will try to get my next share done a week from today instead of 2 weeks from today. So thanks for watching. Bye.